Ever imagined a family car that gets you more attention than a Ferrari supercar? Impossible? Well, meet the Multipla. The instant reaction to Fiat's new Multipla is shocking, weird, wacky, and ugly. It is a car that is absolutely impossible to ignore, and believe me, nobody does.
Well, I saw as I pulled onto the car park here from the outside, and I thought it was rather ugly looking, particularly from the front. It was a very unusual shaped, almost like a fold of flesh over the bonnet, a bit like a boxer dog from the front. The interior is very impressive. There's loads of space. I particularly like the central pod here. Does that? I don't suppose that turns to face this way at all, does it?
No, it doesn't move. It's actually.
Yeah, it's the gear stick here, leaving all the space there in the centre of the floor is a nice touch as well.
I think it will take off because the seats are very, very comfortable, considering it's a six-seater car. Because sometimes if you sat in the back of, like, my Peugeot saloon, and there's three of you, you're all bunched up together, but you've got three actual seats in the back and three in the front. So I think it will take off for a family car.
Fiat believe we're changing the way that we look at cars. We're no longer apparently looking at them as style objects or status symbols. They actually say that what we're looking for now is an everyday tool that's functional, but also gives you plenty of scope for pleasure. So having accepted that the whole world will be looking at you, what's it actually like to drive? First impressions are very lively. And that's an even bigger impression when you realise it's a 1.9 diesel. Fiat have spent an awful lot of time on soundproofing on the Multipla, and it shows. This is a very quiet vehicle. As soon as you've got it running, you would not believe you were in a diesel. One of the key unusual areas, of course, is the gear stick here mounted on the dash. That's because of the three-seat configuration, so you've got plenty of room for the extra passenger in the front. And the other thing that strikes you is how airy the cabin is and how great the visibility is. You've got huge sweeping windows to the front and to the side. Although I found one problem with the window over the days I was driving, it collects flies like nothing you've ever seen. The other thing that you quickly notice is how easy and relaxing the Multipla is to drive. The controls, they look a bit bizarre when you first see them here. This huge pod sticking out, but they're actually very functional. You've got one main speedometer straight just to the right of you here, which has got everything you need on it. All the dials are easy to hand, to touch, and it really is a very practical machine. The other great thing about the Multipla is it's what we call in the trade a grower. Everyone who's seen it after the initial gasp and shock and saying that's terrible or God, what does that look like? By the end of a journey in it, they'll love it. I had one friend, a New Zealand aficionado of cars, and he thought it was dreadful at first. At the end of the day, he was raving about it. How comfortable it was, how he liked the very fresh, different interior. Fiat are aiming the Multipla directly at Renault's hugely successful Scenic in the mini people carrier sector. So how practical is it? 6 seats, 3 in the front, 3 in the back. The middle one in the front is excellent because it actually eases just back from the driver and the other passenger, so you don't have any clash with the driver. It also folds down and turns into a mini table if there's no passenger, which is, again, very functional. In the back, all 3 seats will actually come out. You can also lay all 3 of them flat, and they also can move forward slightly so that you can have the option of more luggage space or more passenger space.
It seems to be very versatile. The 3 seats across the front as opposed to just a bench seat or whatever. Particularly like this one with folding down to provide a table and drink space if you've got kiddies in the back. It's for the side. It doesn't look that large from the outside, but see, it can quite easily fit 6 people inside. It should be. I'd love to have a go, any chance, you know.
So the $1 million question: will it sell? Well, It doesn't come on sale in the UK until January of next year, but it's been on sale for 3 months in Italy and 2 other countries in Europe, and Fiat have sold 30,000. Now, the fact that Fiat didn't expect to sell any more than 40,000 in an entire year confirms maybe that they were as unsure as the rest of us as to just how well such an extreme vehicle would sell. But clearly, it's got an awful lot of potential, and the public appear, if not exactly to love it, to be intrigued enough to buy it.